Welcome back to Media Mesh, where I give you my unapologetic opinion on everything from music, movies, news, reality, TV, and so much more. I'm going to get into the subject that I've yet to discuss on the channel, but I think it's important. I seem to have a good mix of, male to females in the stats. So let's do it. Now, keep in mind, this is the home for the intelligent dissection of social media. So if you're going to say something stupid, please stop. In fact, leave the channel. All right. Now, if you're still here, keep in mind, we're going to have an open dialogue. There's a lot of, men and women who continue to participate in the gender wars, which is ridiculous. But I can only say that in this woman's mind, she has some good ideas. Now, am I Kevin Samuels? Absolutely not. His shoes will never be filled, and be it good or bad. Some people say it was too harsh, too direct and honest, and other people feel it was necessary. And that's just like everything else, right? You're never going to have a great majority of people agree, but let's hear what she has to say. And then I'm going to jump into it and give you my opinion. And of course, I want to hear from you in the comments. So let's get to it.
Of a group of white girls who are sitting at their graduation engaged, and the question came up, well, why is there not the reality for black women? I know y'all not gonna like what I gotta say, but you know me, I'm gonna say it anyways. First and foremost, black women are above reproach. If it don't validate us or excuse our bad behavior, we don't want to hear it. Instead, we'll say, well, men do it too. Secondly, we'll find every excuse in the world to validate why we don't want to be married or why we don't want to be in a relationship. Well, they get cheated on, well, they do this, well, they do that. But then we have all these standards for men, and we're still actively seeking for men in the midst of our hurt while inadvertently telling them to go to therapy. We do not practice what we preach. Thirdly, the independent woman is a myth. Actually cared about being independent and it was something that made you happy, you would not have all these standards to negate your independence. Nobody wants to relinquish power. We'll find every excuse in the world to not be submissive and wonder why white women can get away with their bad behavior. We take everything bad from white women, except for the fact using marriage to our own benefit. But you'll run to the child support office though. Equality against men of a group of white girls who are sitting at their graduation engaged. And the question came up of a group of white girls who are sitting.
Let's jump into that. This is deep. And, the first thing I want to say is that results matter. So if you find yourself in the category as a female where you're single, okay, if you're happy with that, then totally disregard what's being said to you. Disregard whatever Kevin Samuels has said and any other person who's been on the same path. Completely forget it. Now, what she's saying is very true. I've lived enough life to experience both sides. And of course, we're not talking about all women. Let's be clear, because that's the first thing that women say in defense of such statements that's being made. Well, me in particular, that's not me, right? But ironically, the black man gets put into the category of all when these types of conversations come up, right? Instead of just taking a moment to look back and reflect on the men that you personally have chosen to deal with, right? But no, we all fall in that category. But we're going to take away the foolishness today and just look at, again, the results. The truth is, I've seen many accounts of women, I mean, mostly online, because me personally, I can count on my hand the number of females I've dealt with that had this type of, attitude. And again, that's me. Again, you also have to look at what you attract into your life. Okay. So that's a big thing to be considered on both ends. So women, if you keep running into a certain type of guy, then you now have to question yourself and ask, why is it that you attract certain type of men into your space? And not only you attract them, but you also entertain it. That will start there, and vice versa. So the other side of it is that there are just some toxic people in the world. Life has dealt them a dose of reality. And instead of taking a step back and assessing the situation and realize, okay, you know what? I definitely need to switch something up, or I'm going to continue to bring the same type of energy into my life in a different form. It's going to start off cool, and then reality is going to show up. What she's saying is taking accountability. There are definitely a lot of women out here, and I can't say all, because I know one personally who is definitely not like this. Okay. So, and I have had, my share of experiences. I've been lucky. Okay. But you do find some women out here who are just dead set on being right. They do not want to hear anything contrary to what it is that they believe. There are guys like that too, but we're specifically talking about a woman on the screen who's giving you her take on it, which is very objective. Just like you have guys who give the lowdown on the fellas, you have a woman right here that's giving you the lowdown on the ladies. It's all well and good, because at the end of the day, if whatever you're doing is not producing positive fruit in your life, then there's room for improvement, unless you're okay with growing old and alone. Okay. At some point, we're all going to get old. You're going to be 60 years old by yourself. Now, if that's okay, that's fine. If you're able to just, look at it from a higher perspective. A lot of times when we get older, we do get set in our ways, and we have certain opinions and beliefs, based on our past experiences that kind of shape how we deal with people, instead of actually clearing the slate when you get into a new relationship and actually hope for the best. So I guess us guys are able to do that. Some of us, not all, because you have brothers that's out there that will, pretty much, treat the next woman bad based on the experience that they had with the last woman, instead of, looking at it, well, it's a new opportunity. You're making a choice to move forward with someone. So why would you think about what could go wrong instead of thinking about what could go right in the situation? I mean, you are making a choice to deal with someone. You don't have to do it. There's no GUN to your head. So if you actively make a choice to participate in a relationship, then, well, hope for the best. As far as taking accountability, I definitely know women who will not, under no means necessary, take accountability for no foolishness. Okay? It is the man's fault. That's it. That's all. All right. That's not good. And I think and especially because we are talking to a certain demographic of people here. And again, this is on both sides. Listen, unless you are getting the results that you want, if you're happy and content being by yourself, then keep doing what you're doing. But when you can put aside your feelings and your emotions and just look at it for what it is, you will make some changes. And the truth is, most people don't actually make any type of change in life, regardless to relationship or anything else, until there's enough pain built up to where, you have to do something. That's not the best place to be making decisions from, because now you're desperate. But on the flip side, it could be positive, because at least you are now actively going to do something about the situation. But the concern is, are you going to wait till it's too late to take stock of your own actions? Are you going to look at it for what it is and call it out and keep it real with yourself? A lot of us are so great at keeping it real with other people, but we seem to have a hard time keeping it real with ourselves. Tell me in the comments what you think. Until next time, peace and blessings.